be the bottom. It is going to prove to be the ugliest part of the market. And as we head into September, it is going to prove to be shockingly strong. Again, today we will look at August data and see if I'm right. It was horrible. It was ugly. It was blah. But also we'll talk about what's happened in the first week of September, because I'm telling you, it is going to shock people. Beth, how you doing?
Yes.
How was August?
August was brutal.
I think
and,
so.
I mean, I'm just going to say it like it is. It was slow. It was painful. We got houses sold, but everyone was a battle. Talking about from the listing side, and just having to have a lot of tough conversations with sellers and, working them
Welcome
through.
to a buyer's market, Beth. Welcome to a buyer's market.
Buyer's market, which, hey, I like a buyer's market too. I like all the markets, but for different reasons, right? But the part of it starts, before the house even goes on the market, just talking to the sellers about, look, this is where we need to price it. You need to be ready for buyers to ask for credits when, we're seeing lots of buy downs. It's kind of funny. Even when rates were spiking years ago, we weren't seeing the requests for buy downs. Well, I don't know why not. But now everyone's kind of caught on like, oh yeah, buy downs. We like buy downs. I like buy downs. So, and some of the offers we're putting out for buyers right now, we're asking for the rate buy down because,
why not?
Saves you a lot of money. Why not? So, builders have been doing it for years, and that's part of how they, have been keeping above water. So I think you got one maybe on your purchase. So, right?
I did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The builder had to pay like 5 points to get me a 499. That's why we did the deal.
But they did what they had to do. And so sellers, are if they're prepped for it, they kind of understand. And everybody gets it that rates were low. Now they're high. We have to do something to make this work for buyers so that you seller can move on. So, so what we're seeing in the King County, Greater Seattle area is, we saw fewer new listings this August than we saw in 2024's August. So the new listings have been kind of mellowing out a little bit. Fewer new listings coming on, but then the inventory is still up. So for King County, in total listing inventory is up 32%. But in my area over on the east side, 68.8% higher year over year. So lots of inventory.
Lots of inventory. Days on market had to go up.
Days on market up. Our overall inventory for the metropolitan area is lower than I see in some other major cities. So like, for example, in all of King County in August, there were 3,900 listings total. It's like, okay, that's a lot.
Active listings?
Active listings compared to 2,900, 1,000 more than the year before. So year over year, and so, but what I'm starting to see is a change. So there's been a bit of a shift post Labor Day weekend. And
let's talk about August first. I want to talk about September next, but let's finish. So again, inventory up, listings down, which means days on market up. That's just how that works. Let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about, median price. What happened to median price year on year?
It's up, believe it or not.
I believe it. It's what I've been calling for. These doomers don't get it.
3.66%.
Yeah, median home price
nothing, earth shattering, but 3.66%, not too shabby, especially considering the inventory being higher.
Yeah. How about total transactions? What were total transaction August to August?
Total transactions down 5.39%.
So again, I want people to realize this because this is what I've been calling, and people just don't get it. We have more inventory, up 30%. We have less new listings. We have less transactions, but price went up. It breaks people's brains that would happen.
I know, like, how does that happen? Some of this inventory that's active is people that are still just hanging on to the wish price. See a lot of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have seen a bunch drop off, the people that are just like, we can't, market's not giving us what we want right now. We're just going to hold the listing and try again later. Or they're just dragging it on and just accumulating this market time. There's a lot of houses out there with 100+ days on market.
Wish pricing has been distorting the market. I've been trying to educate people on that. You never know what the exact percentage is, but it's got to be 20% of the market is just fake listings. It's not real. It's totally wish pricing. But again, transactions down, inventory up, price up, breaks people's brains. But that's what we've been talking about on this channel. But let's switch to September, because I think August is going to go in the books as the bottom. What have you seen in the first 9 days? As far as let's talk about buyers first, demand side of the equation. What have you seen? Demand, open houses, offers, phone calls?
Yes, it's anecdotal, right? Because we don't have numbers to back it up yet because it's so fresh.
Of course.
But we're seeing lots of activity at open houses this past weekend. I went out as an observer on Saturday because we have a listing coming up this week in a particular area, and I wanted to see what's going on at the open house. I just wanted to take a look at the competition myself and see what was going on out there. And it was interesting. I saw one that was priced maybe a little on the lower side, definitely on the lower side. It was a madhouse there. There were 20 cars parked out front. Wow. I know the agent. I talked to him. He said there had been 20 groups there before I got there. I was like, okay, interesting. Wow. Going to be a bidding war on that one. It's just going to happen. And then the ones that were a little bit higher on the tier there was maybe 3 other groups there when I just kind of popped in randomly, which I have to say that's an improvement because it was so dead over the summer.
It was dead in August. Yeah.
We had several open houses where nobody would show up, or maybe one neighbor who's curious or
looky loo.
Yeah. There's always those, or people just want to chat about the market, which is great, but as far as actual buyers coming through open houses, we just weren't really seeing a lot of that. And even fewer showings during the week.
Yeah. So it's very clear to me that demand has picked up, which again, if you study the market, you watch my channel, you would know, because rates had the largest drop on record for a while on Friday, got below 6.3, 6.29. That's unlocking demand. And as that headline hits more and more, you're going to see demand come off the sidelines. I've talked to you both on record and off record that I think the fall market is going to be the strongest one you remember in a long time, because let's be clear, the spring market was weak compared to historical trends. So I think the fall is going to shock people higher. So that was the demand side, makes total sense. What about the supply side? I'm guessing the supply side's kind of the repeat from August. You have a bunch of wish pricing that's maybe being pulled off the market. Net new listings kind of still below trend. Is that where we are with sellers?
Yes, I did. Just this morning I was checking to see how many new listings we had in the last 7 days versus pendings, and there still were more new listings than we had as pendings, meaning going under contract. But part of that is because a lot of folks wait till after the Labor Day weekend. They kind of pushed it forward a bit because they didn't want to list before the holiday, which was a good move. And then they're listing after the holiday. So we get a surge, which will probably last the next couple of weeks. We'll have a little bit of a surge. Okay. But as soon as buyers start to see some of these good ones go quickly, it doesn't take a lot for people to make the mental switch to competition mode, to go from like, we're just going to sit around and wait and decide and wait for the price to come down and think about it and come look at it 4 or 5 times and then think about it some more and then go on vacation and come back. And then maybe if it's still available, we'll think about it some more. And to like, oh my God, it's gone. We have to jump in now because there was 3 other offers and we lost this really good house. And that is happening already.
I'm going to have to ask you a hard question. Is the buyer's market already over?
I think it's going to be. I think we're right on the tipping point right now.
Yeah. Again, I've been trying to tell people buyer's markets never last very long. And, and again, every market's different. Again, she's very intimate with Seattle and King County. And, maybe King County moves first, given all the tech money up there. But I do think that the buyer's market in most of the country will be over sometime this year. Is it September? Is it October? Is it November? It will certainly be over by next spring, right? Which again could be February or March. But again, folks, buyers markets don't last forever. I know the doomers out there are telling you
people
this.
Never believe it 20%. When you say that. I've been telling people, about the season out, summer slow in the Seattle market every single year. People never believe that it's going to pick up, and it does. And some of this is normal seasonality, but this is more than that this year. Like what we saw was far more severe than a normal seasonal swing. And then, so it's definitely the mechanics of it are different. And to your credit, you called it back in, I don't know when it was, July, August. You were talking about, fall is going to pick up. And then here we are, rates are going down. And are they going down today too?
I think they'd probably be up today because I haven't checked in the last little bit, but it's still, we were over 7%. Now we're under 6.5%. And we got a Fed meeting, we got some inflation readings, but all signs point to rates drifting lower. And and again, we talk about rates being 6.29, and again, that's the median. That means a lot of people, Beth, are getting in the 5s. And to your point, if sellers are buying down rates by paying 2 points, everybody's in the 5s.
Yeah. I've had more buyers reach out to me and my team in the last 2 weeks than we've had in I can't remember. So
there we go.
And they're ready to transact too. We've been getting them under contract, and
buyer's market's over in King County, folks. The buyer's market's over in King County.
Some of these have been on the market. These ones they offer on for like 90 days, and all of a sudden, boom! There's 3 offers on it after 90 days, and
that's happening in Austin too. There's
changed.
There's a guy. Guy had 5 properties he was tracking, stalking, 100 days on market. Bingo, bango! Over the weekend, they're all gone. The buyer's market might be over in a lot of the country.
I know.
Beth, we've been talking about this for a long time. August was going to be the bottom. It's now over. The data shows it was horrible. It was nothing. But again, I think September is going to shock people. Beth, where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm easy to find. You can Google my name. I'm all over social media, etc. My website is bethtraversogroup.com, and then people can find me on there. Or you'll see me in the school group. I try to chime in there with some input here when people ask for it, and like to interact with folks in there. Yeah.
Yep, folks, don't forget, Beth can help you. Beth can help you if you're buying in King County, obviously. But where she really brings the value to my community is she can give you direct referrals to other top 1% agents across the country. So not enough of you are reaching out to her and asking for referrals. That's something you should be doing. Yeah. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.